In 1998, a small American town woke up to what would become its darkest day. A school bus filled with 23 children vanished without a trace. When the bus was finally found, it was empty. The engine was still running, and the headlights were on. This is the case of the vanishing school bus. Hollow Creek, population just over 3,000. A quiet place where people knew their neighbors, and bad news rarely made it past the county line. On the morning of October 13th, 1998, bus number 47 began its route at exactly 7:02 a.m. The driver, 54-year-old Harold Denton, had driven this route for 12 years without a single late arrival. That morning, Harold made his usual stops: Maple Street, Pine Hollow, and the long gravel stretch near Brookshire Woods. He was last seen at 7:46 a.m., turning onto Old Mill Road, a rural patch of asphalt that cuts through a thick, shadowy forest. It was the last confirmed sighting of the bus and everyone on it. When the children didn't arrive at Hollow Creek Elementary by 8:15, the school called Harold's radio. No answer. By 8:30, parents were calling the office. By 9:15, police were on the hunt. At 10:02 a.m., a sheriff's deputy spotted the bus parked at the edge of the woods. The engine was still idling. The headlights were still on. But when the deputy stepped inside, every single seat was empty. Backpacks, lunchboxes, jackets, all still there. A half-eaten granola bar rested on one seat, and on the floor, near the very back, lay Harold Denton's hat. There were no signs of a struggle, and no footprints leading away from a bus. Investigators scoured the scene. They found something strange. On the bus's roof, in the thin layer of morning dew, were small, bare footprints. They started in the middle of the roof and ended at the very back, as if whoever made them had simply stepped off into thin air. Later that day, an elderly man named Clyde Harper came forward. He lived in a trailer about half a mile from where the bus was found. Clyde said around 8 o'clock that morning, he heard children laughing in the woods. It was the kind of laughing you hear during recess, he told police. Then, just like that, it stopped all at once. When asked if he saw anything unusual, Clyde hesitated and then said yes. He saw a man, tall, pale, motionless, standing at the tree line, watching the bus. Didn't look like he belonged there, Clyde said. Didn't look like he belonged anywhere. Forensic techs inspected the bus and discovered something chilling. The bus's onboard clock was 7 minutes slow. Nearby residents also reported their TVs and radios suddenly filling with static between 8 o'clock and 8:10 a.m. The exact window, Clyde said, the laughter stopped. The search went on for weeks. Helicopters, search dogs, hundreds of volunteers. No bodies, no ransom note, nothing. But 6 weeks later, the principal of Hollow Creek Elementary received an unmarked envelope. Inside was a single black and white photograph. It showed all 23 children, smiling, standing in front of what looked like an old wooden cabin. Their clothes were the same as the day they vanished. And in the doorway, barely visible in the shadows, stood a tall, pale man. Experts examined the photo and concluded it was printed on paper that hadn't been manufactured in over 40 years. To this day, the 23 children in Harold Denton have never been found. The case remains open, but in Hollow Creek, some locals swear that on foggy mornings, if you walk near the edge of Brookshire Woods, you can hear children laughing. And if you ever hear it, you better hope it stops before you find the cabin.